Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into the single most important battle you will ever fight, and it's the one that's happening right between your own two ears. We're going to break down how to win those internal struggles that hold you back so you can finally start living the life you were meant to live.
It's such a simple idea, but it's so powerful when you really think about it. So many of us, right? We wait for January 1st, or a new job, or a move to a new city to finally change our lives. But what our source material really drills down on is that real, lasting transformation. It's not about what's happening on the outside. It all starts with a total shift in how you think.
Okay, so let's get right into it and start by identifying who or what the real enemy is. Because let's be honest, if you don't even know where the battle is being fought, how can you possibly expect to win the war?
We pour so much of our time and energy into fighting these external things. We blame our boss, our critics, our bank account. But you know what? Those are just little skirmishes on the side. The real war, the one that you wake up with every morning and go to sleep with every night, is that constant, nonstop barrage of self-doubt, of fear, of negative thoughts, just playing on a loop inside your own head. Think about it like this. There are really two competing stories being told about you at all times. On one side, you've got everything the world is throwing at you, right? The labels, the rumors, the opinions of other people. But then, on the other side, you've got the story you choose to tell yourself. And when it's all said and done, that's the one that matters. That's the one that delivers the final verdict. I mean, this just completely flips the script, doesn't it? It basically says that what other people say about you is, well, it's powerless. The only thing that can truly defeat you is when you let those voices get inside and you start saying their words about yourself. That's when it becomes your truth. So you really have to ask yourself this question and be honest. What's the real threat here? Because the second you realize that the biggest threat is your own internal story, well, that's the moment you can finally start fighting the right battle. And this right here, this is the turning point. Now that we've kind of pinpointed the problem, let's talk about the solution. Let's talk about the incredible, untapped potential that is just sitting inside every single one of us. This is where we start to fight back. And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This is a real, lived experience. Take the story of the incredible motivational speaker Les Brown. When he was just a kid, he was slapped with this devastating label. A label that basically told him, you're not smart enough, you have a ceiling. A label that could have and should have defined his entire life. But that sentence was the game changer. It just took one person, his teacher, Mr. Washington, to plant a completely different seed. He didn't just question the label. He questioned the very idea that someone else's opinion had to be Les's reality. What a powerful thought. And that one sentence was the key that unlocked everything. It gave him a whole new way to see himself. Instead of being trapped by the story of his past, the failures, the labels, he was suddenly given permission to live out of a new story, one written by his own imagination. And here is the real takeaway. This isn't just a feel-good story about Les Brown. This is a universal truth that applies to all of us. The source material is so clear on this. Every single one of us, you included, has this built-in greatness. The only question is, have you decided to wake it up yet? Okay, but that brings up a really important question, right? If we all have this greatness inside of us, why are so many of us just stuck? Well, this next part gives us a practical roadmap for how to get unstuck. There's this great little story that explains so much. It's about a dog that's just lying there, moaning and groaning. And someone asks the owner, "What's wrong with your dog?" And the owner says, "Oh, he's lying on a nail." So the person asks, "Well, why doesn't he just get up?" And the owner replies, "Because it's not hurting bad enough yet." A lot of us are like that dog. We complain about our lives, but the dull pain of staying where we are feels safer than the sharp, scary pain of actually getting up and making a change. And this, right here, this gets to the absolute heart of the issue. The biggest tragedy in life isn't aiming for the stars and failing. No, the real tragedy is aiming for the fence post and hitting it.
It's the danger of setting your sights so low that you actually achieve your mediocre goal and then you just stop thinking you've made it, when really you're just stuck in a comfortable rut. So, how do you actually break out of that? Well, the source material lays out this awesome 4-step plan. First, you have to consciously stretch yourself. Do something that's beyond what you know you can do. Next, get a coach or a mentor. Why? It's simple. You can't see the picture when you're inside the frame. Third, and this one is huge, you have to make your move before you feel ready. Because ready is just a feeling, and it's usually an excuse to wait. And finally, you have to be willing to fail your way to success. You got to reframe failure, not as the end of the road, but as a critical piece of data on your journey forward.
All of this brings us to the final, and I think most powerful idea of all, because this whole thing, it isn't just about self-improvement or personal achievement. This is about your fundamental responsibility to bring your potential into the world. The writer Dr. Howard Thurman paints this incredibly haunting picture. I want you to just imagine this for a second. You're at the very end of your life, and standing around your bed aren't your family or friends, but the ghosts of all your unfulfilled dreams. The ideas you never pursued, the books you never wrote, the potential you never realized. And in this story, those ideas, they aren't sad, they're angry. They're angry because they came to you. They chose you, and only you could have brought them to life. And because you didn't act, they now have to die with you. It's a really profound way to think about the true cost of procrastination, isn't it? So the real tragedy then isn't death itself. It's getting to the finish line and realizing that you let fear or comfort or that negative voice in your head keep you from ever truly living, from ever giving the world the unique gifts that only you could give. And so this explainer is going to leave you with one final urgent question. But I don't want you to see this as a source of pressure. See it as a source of fuel. What dreams, what ideas, what greatness is inside you right now, just waiting for you to finally give it life? Because that is what this battle for your mind is all about.